Welcome into Inside the Hawks Nest. Jack Keffer alongside pitching coach, Hall of Fame pitching coach Ray Korn. And Coach Korn, we've got 10 games left in the regular season. A little short-staffed, however, on the starting end. What do we think? Bo Collie starting tonight. We've seen him a couple of times. What do we think of Bo Collie? And then going forward, the starting pitching staff and how you're going to deal with not having really starting pitchers on the roster.
Well, I think like every other team in this league, except for maybe one or two, they're all losing some position players, but what's more critical is when you lose the top of your rotation. We've lost our top three of our top five, in the rotation in the last 10 days. And that's going to hurt, but it means other guys have to step up. And I think there's enough quality there. I don't know if they'll have the endurance to go 4 or 5 innings, and we might have to go some bullpen by committee. If you can give us 3 innings, maybe he can give us 2, and he can close for us. And I think everybody's in the same boat pretty much at this stage of it because there are pitch limitations. And as much as they might want to stay and as much as we'd like to have them, their welfare, and their future is probably more important.
So the thought with Bo Collie starting tonight is give me 3-4 innings as much as you can, and then we'll get to the bullpen?
Yeah, I think we have to keep an eye on him. Because he hasn't been extended this year at all. He had a limited amount of pitches in college. So if we keep an eye on the pitch count, hopefully he has 2 or 3 innings where he's, in the maybe 10, 12, 13, 14 pitches. And if he can give us 60 pitches and get into the 5th inning, we might be okay.
Coach, we talked a little bit about the bullpen before we were on air here, and the bullpen has been taxed this season as the starters, they've gone 4 or 5 innings, and then it's been up to the arms in the pen. What have we seen throughout the bullpen in the past couple of days? A little bit of struggling, but James Harrington kind of getting back on track last night, had a good inning in the 8th. I mean, what are we experiencing there in the bullpen with some of these pitchers coming in and giving up a couple of runs later on now?
I think the biggest thing that young pitchers, struggle with is when they get out there, they don't stay in the moment. And they make it bigger than it actually is. If they make a good pitch, they're fine, but obviously they made 1 or 2 bad pitches and they've gotten hurt. They haven't gotten away with them. But what I see in the bullpen with some of our young pitchers, they are getting better and they are working hard. And I think it's a great experience for them that as they go on and stay in baseball, the plate gets smaller. Where you can throw a pitch and get away with it, and not have a guy hit a ball in a gap for you, becomes a little bit tighter. But I think they've gotten better. At least they said they've learned something, and when this is a learning experience up here. You have the 3, 4, and 5 hitters from every team. Okay, even the guy that's hitting 9 probably hit 4 or 5 for his college team. Yep. And the pitchers, even the guys that struggle here were probably their number 1 or 2 pitchers in their college. So they get to find out where they are and what they have to do to raise their game and get to the next level of baseball.
Coach, Garrett Cave picks up his 9th save of the season last night. Hyannis has won 16 games. How invaluable has Garrett Cave been? You talk about learning, and we've seen the progression of Garrett Cave since day one here at this field, Durant Park. I mean, how great has he been, and how good can he be going forward?
It's just the tip of the iceberg with him. One thing is he feels confident in his ability to throw strikes now, and I don't know if he felt that way when he got here. And what we were told is that he's got a plus arm, and we've seen that all summer. It's just that he was pitching backwards, or he was pitching behind in counts, And we made some adjustments in his hands, and they weren't major, but they all of a sudden got him over the ball, and he's down in the strike zone. And I mean, when you're in the Cape Cod and you're averaging 2 strikes out an inning, that's pretty good against some of the best collegiate hitters in the country. And, he's got a 97, 98 fastball. He's got other pitches to go with it, and we're working on a slider with him, and he can throw that too. But, no, he's a revelation. If you said we won 16, he's got 9. All right, so we'd be in trouble if we didn't have Garrett with us this summer, that's for sure.
Coach, thanks for taking the time with us today. Always a pleasure talking to you.
Okay, thank you.